Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, let me just get everything set up. Ugh. Today, this whole Mercury retrograde period has been insane. The energies and everything have just been like super difficult, I would say. I would say it's been insane. But who am I to say? So let me just get some cards ready. I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Piscean anything. You're probably an empath. You're probably needing messages from your soul. So, wishing you understood. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and that's what I heard. Wishing that you understood. Is it you wishing someone else understood? Is it someone else wishing that you understood? I don't know. I don't know. But it has an intensity to it, almost like almost like an air of, like, I want to say desperation, but it doesn't feel like this person is desperate. It feels like this person, and it could be you, it could be someone else. It feels like this individual is more like frustrated, at a loss. They don't know how to communicate what needs to be communicated. They don't know how to express really important things. So, hold on. Let's see. Let's pull some cards. Oh my God. Let me just shuffle it again. I'm sorry. Let me shuffle it again because I feel myself like trying to fight with Michael over cards. I'm not even joking. Okay, I won't look. I won't look. There. So yeah, this person feels like they want to express something that is super duper important, for the sake of like peace, I guess. And they don't quite know how to do it. They don't know how to approach it. They don't know how to approach you. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's a frustrated feeling though. Very, very frustrated. So, how are you guys doing, by the way? Okay. Let's put this here. All right. Hearth Homecoming. I really feel like whoever this is, wants to come home. What does that mean? This whole like coming home. This is someone who's been away for quite some time. Maybe they've been away from you. Maybe you've been away from them. Maybe it's family. Maybe it's a friendship. Maybe it's work. Maybe it's your motherland. We don't really know. Well, no. I don't really know. You, however, do. You know who this is for you. You know how long they've been gone. You know, how you feel. You know your history. You know so much that's gone on between the two of you, and you know way more than what you let on. Oh, did I just call you out? Oh my God. I'm just repeating what Michael said. And damn, Mikey. Well, you do know. You do know, okay? You know what this is and who this is and what this is about. Ooh, awakening. So it's this sense of like realizations are taking place, right? Maybe you're realizing, maybe they're realizing. I don't know who's realizing, but someone is realizing something. And the realizations that are taking place are ones that I suddenly feel some I suddenly feel like a lot of emotion coming up. I know they're not my emotions. Um, I'm just I'm just gonna spray myself. Um, oh, oh my God. It's a lot. It's like a really intense sense in the chest. Um, uh, I don't know. I don't know. It's been so long is what I hear. The sense that I get, it's been so long and there's no idea of how to fix things. No idea of like but see, here's the thing. You can't bring things back to the way they were. That time is gone. That time is gone. So if you're gonna just try, or whoever it is, your cross watcher or whoever is gonna try to bring things back to the way they were, that's just not gonna happen. That time is gone. It's literally gone. And so now is the time to begin really considering, like, what do you want? What is it that's the end goal? Is it just to, are you trying to reconnect for romantic reasons? Is it something that you just, really need to? This is intense. I can't even finish my sentences. This is intense. I'm spraying witch hazel with rose water. That's what I'm spraying on my face. It's Thayer's facial mist, witch hazel aloe vera formula with rose petal. That's what I'm spraying. So this is an intensity. I think Mercury is going to push out another situation for you. And whatever this situation is, it's going to be something that's like, I almost want to say it's going to be a lot of like conflict. There's conflicting feelings. Um, for whoever this reading is for, whether it's for you or your cross watcher, there is this conflicting feeling of like, do I say something? Do I not? Like, they've moved on with their life. I should just move on with mine, but I can't. Like whoever this is, um, ugh, it's like they can't stop. They can't stop. It's a fixation. I don't know if it's a healthy fixation, but it's this fixation of like, I'm just saying, we see an eye to eye right now, Ileana. We like, we on the same we on the same vibe, rolling with the homies. um I really don't. I don't subscribe to the planetary stuff. Like, when this is happening and these planets are aligned and yada yada yada. Oh, it's two is why. Oh, shoot. Oh Lord, that's what it is. That's what I'm picking up on. Um, what's happening right now is someone is being divinely guided. I don't know if it's you, I don't know if it's them. They're being, whoever this is being very divinely guided to a place of acceptance and understanding of whatever they need to uh, begin realizing for themselves. Two is a number of guidance. They're realizing all paths lead back to the same thing, which for some it's you. You're that pot of gold at the end of the road. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what you're supposed to do. This is something that's been considered for quite some time, and it's almost this sense of things are being positioned in such a way to allow for things to happen. What are those things? I don't know. It could be as simple as like running into each other at the grocery store. It could be something where there's something planned out, and maybe they've been writing and rewriting and rewriting and rewriting whatever um, message they want to send, but they don't have the courage to send it. I don't know what it is. See what I'm saying? This is something that has caused an entanglement. It's like a soul-based entanglement. Um, y'all are just jumbled up together. That energy is like tangled. And it's not necessarily a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It feels like it's just a thing that needs to be that you need to be aware of. If you don't understand the gravity of your effect, you're not going to understand the gravity of their response. This is not, this message is not to be construed as justification for people's disrespectful behavior towards you. If someone disrespects your boundaries, oh, if someone disrespects your boundaries, I mean, that's a disrespectful person. There's no title, no label that you can affix on someone to justify the disrespect of their boundaries and their needs. None. None. I want to make that very, very clear. None. None at all. Not a single one. Not the title of parent, sibling, spouse, um, BFF, twin, soulmate, whatever, monadic twin, twin ray, like, no, 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 no. When people are disrespectful in their approach, that's a deal breaker. That's an absolute deal breaker. No. However, we do have to understand that some people are still trying to figure out what the respectful approach is. There is a way to approach this, whatever conversation needs to happen between the two of you. There is a way to approach it that is respectful. And like I said, don't, seriously, if you take only one thing away from this reading, I ask you to please take away the reality that no one gets to disrespect you, regardless of the title or the place they hold in your life. No one gets to do that. They don't get a free pass for that. I don't care what's happened in their life. I don't care what kind of traumas they've been through. You have your own story. You've been through things. And if you can conduct yourself with a certain basic level of respect for other people, then you deserve that same respect to be reciprocated. Now, not everyone knows what that level is, but here's the thing. The moment you make it known, like, hey, you're approaching that boundary line of being disrespectful, and if they continue, they're out. See, people think that I'm so like cut and dry. I am and I'm not. Like, I understand that not everyone is going to understand me, especially if you haven't been around me in a while. It doesn't matter if we've had a history for many, many years and we grew up together and you knew all my favorite foods all the way until I gave birth to my first child. If you've been gone for even a year, if you've been gone for a month, I've become a different person already. I've grown, I've expanded. And if you're not going to take the time to reassess, to get to know me once again, and maybe just quietly observe to see which pathways are viable pathways for communication and which approaches are an automatic deal breaker, you're out. If you can't take the time to do that, I don't know that we need to talk about anything. I don't know that we need to talk about anything because I'm at a point in my life, and I hope you're at the same point as well, where I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to settle for any type of disrespect, lack of consideration, lack of anything. I don't need to be put on a pedestal, but I definitely need to be treated like an equal. And that's not asking for too much. That's expecting the bare minimum. I'm not even going to ask for it. That is what I expect. And if you're incapable or unwilling to give me the bare minimum, we don't have anything to talk about. We just don't. Okay, it says maximize your miles with Delta Sky Gold Card. Okay. I don't know if I need to travel or something. Oh, ew. And then it disappeared. Now it's Southwest Airlines. Fares you'll love. Book now. Hugs. Wait, what? Um, Small fares, big heart. Want to get away. It's a small price to pay. That's the message that I get. It's a small price to pay to have such a huge heart. What price are you paying though? Is the price that's paid the cost of having such a huge heart? Um, is that the loss of something that you wanted? What do you want? What do you need? Are those two aligned? Because oftentimes, I hate to call you out like this, but oftentimes what you want and what you need are two very different things. They take you down two very different pathways and involve very, very different people. They really do. It's not very common for what you want and what you need to be the exact same thing. It takes a lot of development as a person to begin merging the two, releasing all of these expectations, all of these um, commitments to specific outcomes that maybe are not even in alignment with how things are supposed to play out. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so Marlene says, and she goes, "No, don't say it out loud." Too late. Um, she's saying don't say it out loud because she had said that she was no longer going to be interfering with trying to force me to send messages and stuff out while I'm doing readings. But this is something that she just said to me. It's a personal, like just a little conversation she's having with me. She says, well, have you ever considered that maybe this is a period where someone is realizing what they want and what they need is the same thing, and they're just trying to find the courage to bring that into their life. So I'm wondering if for some of you, whoever this is for you, they're realizing you are what they want and you are what they need. And they're trying to figure out how to go about and fix whatever it is that they broke. They broke it. Okay. Ooh, their boundaries are upside down right now. They've gone through something. They've gone through something that's caused them to question the reality of who they are, the reality of where they are in their life. Um, Whoever this is has just been through a lot. They're a very sensitive person, like a lot of depth. They've been caught real deep. I don't think they practice this anymore, but for the longest time, um, if you're laboring, if you're about to deliver a baby and the baby is wedged for some reason, or it's slightly, quote unquote, too big for the birth canal, which is BS. The hip the pubic bone, all of that, those are not fused. They're not fused. They can fit a baby. Okay. People just be impatient. But if getting back on track, sometimes there was this practice where they would cut the mother's pelvic floor to quote unquote facilitate the birth, right? So it's a clean cut. Sometimes they'll use scissors. Yeah. Ooh. It's called an episiotomy. And when you have a cut like that and you're pushing something out, something large, that has a tendency to cause a wider and deeper tear. So what would have probably been like a small tear had they just not interfered is now this third degree laceration. That's pretty intense. That's pretty intense. They did that to me and I had a millimeter away from a fourth degree laceration. Oh, God. I'm still traumatized. Yeah, no. So I understand the healing process of that. It's almost this sense of this is what happened to the person. It's like not only were they cut deeply, precisely, the pressure of it, the pressure of that rebirth of self, it caused the wound to tear. Um, the amount of devastation whoever this is experiencing right now, it's a lot of devastation. So then why are we being told this? Like, how does it fit in with you? Like, are you being impatient with the process? Are you feeling as though because whoever this is for you has not come forward yet, um, like they're just messing with you, they're toying with you again? I don't know that anyone's playing any games right now. I think everyone is hurting so deeply that they just don't have the time, the energy, the focus, or the ability to play games. I think they're just picking their pieces up, to be honest. Someone's been really injured, really, really hurt by life, by their own decisions. And yes, they made those decisions. They hurt their own feelings. But can we have a little bit of a heart here? You know, maybe we all need to experience some type of third degree laceration to understand the gravity of how that feels, that healing process, how involved it is. You know what I mean? It's something that's just so, and it has to do with interference. It has to do with lack of attention and interference. I know a lot of my life situations serve as lessons to help me understand topics that will come later on in life. For me, in that experience where I was like a millimeter away from a fourth degree laceration, like down there, um, the nurses, don't have anything against nurses. I love them. All my family are nurses. Um, I was giving birth in the hospital that my mom worked at. And my mom works in the NICU, so all of the L&D ladies are her friends. And they were all chatting with each other, gossiping while I'm naked on a table laboring. And so they weren't paying attention. When you have intense back labor, like your back is hurting so badly, it feels like your tailbone is broken and your labor stalls, most likely you have a sunny side up baby. That means the head is facing down, but the baby's face is looking up. Like when it comes out, it's looking up instead of facing the floor. The baby's head does not fit in the birth canal in that way. That's the very reason why I felt all my ligaments tearing. Had someone just paid attention and helped to shift the baby, I wouldn't have experienced it in that way. Had I not been rushed, had people not been interfering, I wouldn't have had the episiotomy. There were unnatural things that were put into play. I was put on Pitocin. They were just rushing me like Jesus, Mary, Joseph, the three wise men, the freaking baby animals in the manger. It was a lot. It was a lot. How does this apply to what we're talking about right now? There was an unnatural thing put into play. Something happened in their life because of interference, because of an attempt to control their life. Maybe not even an attempt by them to control their life. Maybe it was an attempt by someone else in their life to kind of just dictate their life. I don't know. And then comes this thing of like, they needed someone who was knowledgeable and trustworthy to keep them safe by shifting them 1 degree at a time, encouraging gently. And they didn't have that in their life. There was no one in their life who was willing to be that gentleness. And then things were forced, their hand was forced. And it's this thing of like yet another interference, some type of surgical thing, a cutting. Because really, in surgery, what do? You have to cut, or else it's not surgery. Even laparoscopic surgery, you have to cut to insert those poles, okay? You have to cut. So they've been cut and they're injured, and, they don't. I feel like I'm making excuses for someone, but at the same time, I know I'm not. It's just, these are things that we have to understand. People go through things that we're not aware of. And it's not necessarily that you have to be aware of everything they go through, but it's this need for you to just not take things so personally. They've already failed themselves. They don't need to know how they failed you too. If it was a deal breaker for you, then it was a deal breaker. And that's that. That's the end of it. But what if they come back as someone else? What if they show you that they've become a different person, that in the time they've been gone, they're now a different person? So then that means now it's a different deal. I got to find this quote. Hold on. Okay. Don't be mad at me, okay? It's just I remember this quote and I just have to share it with you. It's a quote by Bob Marley. If she's amazing, she won't be easy. If she's easy, she won't be amazing. If she's worth it, you won't give up. If you give up, you're not worthy. Truth is, everybody's going to hurt you. You just got to find the ones worth suffering for. Now, granted, he was basically a womanizer. But the poetry is often tragic. The best poetry is the most tragic kind. Why do you think it's so good? Because it's so tragic. It takes something that cuts you and turns it into body modification. It turns it into art, turns it into something that carries an intrinsic beauty because of the uniqueness of it. And that's what love is. Love is poetry in motion. Love is the rhythm with which the words live. What are the words? Whatever it is you manifest for yourself, whatever it is you co-create for yourself. There's something that's going on right now, and there's a guiding being taken place. Someone is being guided back to a place of reconsidering you, reconsidering the time that you guys have spent together, or maybe reconsidering that they need to spend more time to get to know you. I will say poetry hurts. The best type of poetry is the most stingy type. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The best type of poetry makes you feel some kind of way and makes you feel as though you've died all over again, but this time on paper. But that's what makes it good. I mean, as Pisceans, I know y'all can relate. I know as empaths, you have this obsession possibly with romantic perceptions. Um, Life is just crazy, and if we can accept it for what it is, this crazy wild adventure that you can't guarantee anything, and to need guarantees is to cease living. Um, yeah. Someone's like, what are you even talking about? I'm talking about loving without guarantees. There's no guarantee how long someone will stay with you. There's no guarantee how long they'll love you. There's no guarantee how deeply they'll go with you. I say love them anyways, if you feel like they're worth it. Are they worth it? Are they worth struggling for, struggling with? Suffering's optional. The struggle is the moment where the lesson has become so intense that it's no longer easy, and the fact that it's no longer easy means you're reaching parts of yourself and your truth and your potentiality that you've never tapped into before. When I used to go to the gym all the time, lifting specific weights is easy. Doing specific movements, exercises, it's easy. But if I always do what's easy, I don't grow. I just won't grow. So what do I need to do? Warm up by doing what's easy with a knowing we're going to intentionally make it harder. We're going to intentionally lift heavier, push harder, pull harder, whatever it is. We're game. Let's do it. Let's do it. I saw this video. I would love to share it with you guys, but I can't. Um, I can't. So instead, you have to find my personal profile on Facebook. I mean, Nicolina Garcia. It's this post that I shared, and this guy is at like some gorge of some kind. It's like some canyon of some kind, and there are they look like strings, but they're not. They're ropes. There are ropes that are rigged, and he just jumps. Ooh. I watched it and I squealed and I was like, yes, we gotta do that. We gotta do that. I don't know who would go with me, but that's the thing. I've gotten to a point where I know I'm growing, and I know I'm tapping into more of my personal power, because the very things that scare me the most, I'm afraid of heights, just so you know. The things that scare me the most are the things that I really want to do now. Yeah. Those are the things that I'm like, that challenges me. I like it. Oh, let's do that. And some people might say, like, oh, you're probably just going through a midlife crisis. I don't feel like I'm having a crisis. I feel like I'm finally blossoming. I'm feeling like the first blossom withered because I didn't know how to properly do it, you know? I got so excited with that growth that I overwatered and I over this and I over that. And so I unintentionally interfered with the most purest intent, of course. And that worked against what I was trying to achieve. Now I'm at a point where it's like, all right, more blossoms are coming up. Uh, we'll just let it do its thing. We'll just let it do its thing. We'll let it percolate. We'll let it marinate in whatever it needs to marinate in. And then it's going to do its thing. And then I'm just going to enjoy observing as it does its thing. Yogi, you want to go with me? I gotta, you're on my Facebook, right? We need to go. The gorge was so deep. You didn't see him. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, did he die? Did the rope snap?" And first we got to get a drone. We got to get one of those drones that track you. I want to record it as you plummet down and swing and dang-a-lang on a rope. But first I have to work out my back so I don't hurt myself. Seriously, I would love to go and do something like that with you guys. Where those of us who are truly, truly ready, like really ready to see how far we can take our growth. Maybe we can plan something like a meetup or so. No, I have stalkers. It would have to be a private meetup. I have stalkers, like they really would show up. I'm not joking. They really would show up if they knew the location that I was in. Which, by the way, I might not be live for a little bit because I'll have a new background again soon. Let's just put it that way. Anyways, protection in reverse. Magical circle. Ooh. This person, like, God, just come here, come to mama. I'll be your mom. Lord, the feeling. So someone cut you. Now it feels like you've been emptied out and you're not protected. Maybe it's a Piscean in me that feels horribly when I come across people, energy, situations where someone feels so overly exposed and utterly abandoned. You don't have to feel that way. I understand why you do. But I'm here to tell you that there are those people like me who can share space with you. You know, who can share space with you. Queen of Hearts, girl, see, that's what I'm saying. That's why we vibe. Our level of ratchet is like we matched. She says your stalkers will get handled at a meetup. Oh my gosh. Okay. I believe it, but I'm not about violence. Really, I would get traumatized. I really would. I'd be like, oh my God. I'm not a damsel in distress, but just don't traumatize me. Then I'll never meet people in real life ever again. I'm partially there already. I'm partially at that point of trauma already because the past 2 retreats, there was like good stuff going on. I'm just saying, maybe though, if I planned an event, right? If I planned an event, it wouldn't be anything bougie because I feel like Video has really thrashed everyone's bank account. So it wouldn't be anything bougie. It would need to be something like outdoorsy because I can't do city stuff. I really love to be out in the middle of nowhere. And like maybe we could stay in tents. The weather's starting to warm up. We could find a place where, you know, we could just be all huddled up in tents. You know, one of my most favorite things ever. Sometimes I used to do this and people thought it was crazy. So we lived in the RV full time for a couple of years. And sometimes we would just kind of like park, we would boondock in literally middle of nowhere in the desert. And there's zero lights because for hours on end, there are no cities. And it's a time at night where like very few people are driving. So there's literally no lights. And I would climb to the roof of the RV. And then I would lay there and just look at all the stars. It's awesome. If you've never done that before, it is just awesome. There's something about being in a space where there's no interference and it's just this like connection, the most intimate connection to this growing realization and acceptance of your celestial origins. It's a really beautiful thing. Really, really beautiful. Maybe we can plan an event where if you'd like to, you know, show up, you would just pay the cost of whatever that event is. I want to get, I don't know if you have to be licensed or certified to jump out of a plane by yourself. Last time I was attached to some random man's crotch. Luckily he was not perverted, so that went perfectly fine. But I want to learn how to do it on my own. That would be really fun. We'll see. Let's plan something for when the weather warms up. Maybe we can do like some desert boondocking. You know what? Let's plan something like that. Let's really plan something like that. I think that would be so beautiful. One of my favorite places to stargaze in the middle of nowhere, Meteor City. In Arizona, Meteor City, there's literally nothing around. Yeah. There's like literally nothing around. It's gorgeous out there, especially summertime. It's just the tiniest hint of coolness on the breeze. I'm just saying. Okay, spell, manifestation. So I immediately got this sense of it's almost like someone put them under a spell at some point. Like, what do you mean? Okay, for some of you, this is obviously a very specific message. For some of you, um, this person, part of why things degraded between the two of you was there was magical interference. Magical interference. And it's one of those things where I think it's being undone now. It was in place for so long and now it's being undone. Lisa Ann. Really? 5 acres with a new farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere. Can we camp in your backyard? I'm just saying, yeah, I am absolutely wilderness girl. I have no problem going potty out in the back. None at all. There's just something so ridiculously magical about, popping a squat and going tinkle watching the stars. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, yeah, we should totally plan something like that. But you'd have to it would have to be a closed group. I'm really not about that life of people, crazy people. I'm talking about true mental illness, trying to find out where I physically am. We all have a big problem. And then I'll be traumatized. But yeah, no, seriously. It's almost this thing of the manifestation, going back to the cards, of course. The manifestation that occurred because of a spell-based interference. Man, oh man. It's being undone, and that's why they're coming to these realizations. Were you abandoned or were they spell casted? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Moon cycles. This is the last cycle. This is the last cycle. They went through cycle after cycle with this person, cycles of almost letting themselves free, only to be coerced to go back in that gilded cage. And it's just cycle after cycle after cycle. Oh no. I don't know. I don't know if, I mean, it feels like they're finally free from this. So the sense that I get is they were spell casted and then financial benefits were put as an added measure of attempting. Oh, that hurts my heart. This is someone who has prided themselves in being very independent. And they really thought they could trust this person. only to later realize they've been being played this whole time. It's really affected their sense of self. Mm. Yeah. So, cloak and concealment in reverse is in reverse, that's the opposite. They can no longer, like, whatever's happened, it can't be hidden anymore. It can't be hidden anymore, and everything is coming to light. What's been done to them, the interference that was attempted that caused so much craziness in their life, all of these different things, it's coming to light now. I don't know that they're ever going to forgive this person. Intuition in reverse. They didn't listen to their intuition. Maybe the two of you have a history in this life, and in that history, they got their feelings hurt, intentionally, unintentionally, I don't know. But I'm wondering if they got their feelings hurt and that's why they refused to see things. It really blinded them. But see, that's not your fault. What someone does because their feelings get hurt, that's still on them. That is still on them. They still made that decision. Strength in reverse. Oh, gosh. Whatever this is, it really drained them of their personal power. Hmm. This needs to be fixed. I don't know how it would be fixed. It needs to be fixed though, because neither of you can continue in this way and continue to be depleted unnecessarily. That's so unnecessary. Okay. So, um hold on really quick. I have to check if I don't think I have it on there yet. Okay, after this live stream, I'll set it up on the website. I have to create like a private group because I'm really serious about um, doing some sort of outdoor wilderness retreat type thing, but it has to be very, very safe. Like, it has to be safe for me. Like, I'm not down to be in the same proximity of people who are toxic. But I am feeling like I can't hide myself away just because of the potentiality of crazy people. It's just, no, I'm not going to hide away. I'm not going to be fearful and hiding away. Reality is this: I am so fully equipped to protect myself in any situation, whether I have the tools to. My mindset is enough. So I'm not going to live like that. Um, it feels like part of the thing that's being guided during this reading is this need to kind of just step out of that comfort zone and really allow yourself to enter into a place where you can see how far you can take this personal power that you're developing. uh yeah, it's time to get out of that comfort zone and really figure out, like, just really really figure out, um what am I supposed to do here? What is this? What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? What direction am I supposed to go in? You know? Um it's hard. It's hard because you're making it hard. is what I'm hearing. I think Michael's talking to me. Oh, shit. I think he's talking to me. I think he's talking to all of us because we all share a similar mindset. That's why we vibe. We're making it harder for ourselves with overthinking, and it's almost like the consideration of the need for contingency plans for contingency plans. And, it's just stop, stop. Allow yourself to come back to center and rejoin me in this space that we share, this space of acknowledged self empowerment. You're already an empowered person. The only reason you don't feel empowered is because you don't acknowledge it. I've always been like this. This is who I am. The only thing that's been changing about me over the years is how much I allow of the truth of me to escape my lips, to be witnessed by other people. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. You're in the process of allowing yourself to truly be set free, where you're no longer in a space that you're trying to control how much is witnessed coming out of you. We have to stop doing that. It doesn't empower you in any way. See, it's a new chapter. 2 is a number of guidance, 4 is a number of self. You're being guided to a new you, a you that is so unacknowledged and has been so unacknowledged for so long that you don't even know who that is anymore. Ooh, I feel that. Card number 10, compassion. Needing to have compassion for yourself, needing to have compassion for whoever this other person is for you. Because what's going on right now is a process of finding yourself back home at center. When you're centered, you don't need to try to balance. That's an intrinsic benefit of being centered. By virtue of your centeredness, you're naturally balanced. So stop wasting your time trying to balance. Instead, find your center. Make a little nest there. Get comfortable. Sip some coffee, sip some tea, whatever you want to sip on. Sip some vodka for all I care. Whatever you're going to sip on, whatever you enjoy. Get very comfortable in your home within yourself. Card number 14, Golden Crown in reverse. See, this is a lack of acknowledgement of how powerful you actually are. There's so many places where we could go. I don't know why I'm so fixated on this. There's this. Oh, no. That's in the wrong area. Mikey, I know what you're doing. Card number 5, be still. You have to let yourself be still. Let all of that wind die down. Allow all of that fear that you're experiencing kind of settle into its place. It's okay to still have fear. If you're trying to make it your goal in life to have absolutely no fear, that's just a time-wasting goal. I mean, I'm not even sorry for being truthful, because I was going to say, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Here's the thing. People who jump off buildings and are into like extreme sports and stuff like that, they're extreme athletes. It's not a lack of fear that they're experiencing. It's their perception of that fear being something beneficial, an adrenaline rush. What's the difference between an adrenaline rush and fear? They're the same thing. But when you term it as an adrenaline rush, you label it as an adrenaline rush. Now it's this thing of like, yeehaw, yippee-ki-yay, mofo. You know what I'm saying? Versus this shutting down because, oh my gosh, what if this? What if that? You don't think extreme athletes know that they could break bones, that they could ultimately, die? It's just this change in perception, that 1 degree shift in perception. That's what it is. So, as someone who has always been ridiculously afraid of heights, standing on the counter, you guys, that's tall for me. I'm not joking. Standing on a counter is tall. It's much taller than me. And I have never felt more at home than I was dangling from a parachute. That was calm. That was peace. That was just me being able to appreciate in like the 5 minutes it took for me to descend. That was me appreciating the different view. Absolutely. And the most important thing to recognize, how was I able to do that? Why was it so fearless for me? Well, because my jumping partner wasn't afraid either. They weren't interested in trying to hype up any fear. We were just like, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it. Okay. What day should we do it? And that's how it went. There was literally no fear. Are you afraid of the things that you need to face, the things that you need to experience? Because your environment is programming you to be afraid. For this person, for all you know, they could have people in their life that's basically like, oh, you're making a huge mistake. Oh, this, oh, that. Oh, you're going to really regret it. Oh my God, what are you doing? Yada, yada, yada. I would be like, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Calm down. This is none your life. This is none your business. That's what I would say. But I mean, that's not me. So I'm not in that situation. I wonder why. Well, because I would say that. That's why. Because I would say that. People in my environment have learned, like, I'm going to decide whatever I decide. If you want to come to me and tell me respectfully that you have an opposing opinion, I am willing to hear it. If you want to come to me and tell me how I'm a fucking idiot and I am fucking up, well, then fuck you. Fuck you. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. Like, no, I'm not willing to receive that type of gaslighting anymore. I'm wondering if that's something you need to talk to yourself about. How you've been giving at least some type of passive permission for someone to gaslight you into a place of fear, fear of your life, fear of this, fear of that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, do you really have to be afraid? Do you really have to be afraid? You don't. You really don't. Instead of using your intuition to block you from doing the things that you know in your heart you need to experience, allow your intuition to guide you into places of a deeper self-trust, a deeper acceptance of self, allowing yourself to see your life and your journey as an adventure, because it is. It is. Life is only hard if you choose to believe that it is. That doesn't mean you're not going to have struggles. It means the struggles will not be seen as struggles, but instead will be seen as opportunities to learn and grow. I've been through a lot in life. I see it all as opportunities to learn. So, because that's how I've seen it, I've seen people's challenges, people's adversity as an opportunity to level myself and my understanding of myself up. Yeah, I can't stop, won't stop. You're not going to stop me. Are you kidding me? Because I got quiet, you thought you stopped me? No. I just got quiet so you'd shut the F up and stop interfering as I do the very thing you're trying to convince me I cannot do. Mhm. Yep. That's the only reason I got quiet. Not because you convinced me. Not because you convinced me. We have to allow ourselves to recognize where our mindset is and what is our driving reason why we do the things we do, whether it's avoiding or running headstrong into something head first and headstrong towards something. You have to be able to recognize what's going on. You have to. You have to let yourself. Maybe like a year or two ago, I convinced I convinced my husband to buy a pit bike. They're like mini motorcycles. It's a pit bike. I was like, I'm gonna learn how, and I wanted to get the one with the training wheels. But the people were like, "Oh, someone just bought that earlier today, so you can't have that." What? And long story short, we bought a pit bike, and it's a perfect size for me. The perfect size for me. And you know, I was gonna ride it, and it at the time we're living on a mountain first and foremost. We're literally living on a mountain. The roads are not paved. It's all like compacted earth or gravel. And my husband knows me so well. He knows I have balancing issues. I'm not good at balancing. And I said I was going to learn it. And then he kept like, no, you're going to fall. And I was wearing slippers. All of this is already should tell you like this was a bad idea. And and I was going to write it. I was so going to write it, and he kept telling me, no, you should not. You should not. And he's like, we'll put in the trailer, we'll bring it to a parking lot where it's like pavement. And I was like, I can do this. I can do this. And he was like, you're gonna crash and burn. You're gonna eat pavement. He's just like being very real with me. And then he's like, something happened. So do you know how many people are gonna be pissed off that you got hurt? And I was like, so you don't believe in me? He was telling me no. He kept telling me no. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. And then I remember like the first time he got on it, there's something going on because it has gears. And when you switch it into, I think like second gear, it just like and then it bucks you off because that's what happened to him. And yeah, I had flip flops on. And then finally he saw how pissed off I was. He goes, okay, all right, you can do it. I know you can do it. Fuck that shit. You already convinced me that I can't. I already fell and broke hella shit in my head. I'm not doing it now. I was so mad. So then I got into the kids' I was mad. I got into the kids' souped up all-terrain go-karts, and I whipped it around. I whipped it around. I went hella fast and I whipped it around. And it almost rolled, but that's fine because I was in control. I was doing all kind of crazy shit in the go-kart. And I was mad. And then, the reality of it, I probably would have like broke something. I probably would have broke something. That's the reality of it. And when I assessed, it was just from this place of like, I just want to prove to you, you're not going to tell me what I can and can't do. Yo, half the time I can't walk down the stairs. I stand without stepping anywhere and I trip. I'm walking and I literally walk into walls. I'm just saying, I don't have good depth perception for my physical body. I do when I'm in a vehicle. I can fit vehicles in places you would not believe that it could. I'm like, "Nah, that could fit. We got about half an inch. That could fit." But for my physical, I can't. I was trying to learn how to skateboard using my mother's walker. I'm so serious, and I still couldn't do it. And, it's one of those things where sometimes the thing that we're doing is simply to prove something that we really don't need to prove. Yeah, Queen of Hearts, slippers and gravel, not a good mix. My husband keeps telling me that. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I believe I can commingle with whatever I want to commingle with. But I think if I commingle flip-flops and gravel, my face is probably going to commingle with the gravel too. Probably. Who knows? I don't want to know. I don't want to see. See, celestial teacher in reverse. Celestial teacher in reverse, card number 7 in reverse. You guys are not done learning with each other, whatever it is you need to learn. So this is not done. It's not done. That's why it's needing to be rehashed. You have to have patience. 2 is a number of guidance. 5 is a number of change. When you guide yourself through that change, you come to a place of 7, which is a number of completion. This cycle between the two of you will complete, but you got to make sure that you do it properly. Integrity, ooh, in reverse. Walk your truth. So there was a decision that was made that lacked integrity. It probably has to do with all the interference that was going on. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that are factoring into whatever's happened between you and someone else. There's a lot of things. Girl, just let Frey video you one time. Just wear a helmet. So one of my girlfriends came to visit us one time, right? She came to visit us. This is while we were still in the RV. And we had all the kids' bicycles with us. That's how we would travel. And her and her boyfriend came to visit us where we were. Girlfriend is like 4'10"ish. I felt like I was a giant beside her. She's like super tiny, and like she's so tiny. She's just adorable. So what happened was she looked super feminine. I look super feminine. We both hella masculine. Me and her, we both competitive AF. As like, bitch, you want to race on the kids' toddler bikes? Yeah. We raced. There's video footage of this. We raced on the kids' toddlers' bikes. And we both the bikes fit us like perfect. And we were just competitive AF and like we made a lap around the the RV park, right? We made a lap around and like I think what had happened was her chain kind of got derailed, so she couldn't roll anymore. I was like, yeah! And I won. And she was so competitive. Like she's running. I was like, you got a pedal. You got a pedal. Cheater ass. You got a pedal. Yeah. So, there's footage of that. There's also footage, I think, of I got my hammock. So I like to use things in ways that they're not meant to be used. I got my hammock. It's just like this high tensile fabric, but it's super lightweight. And I put it on the bar that you could like do pull-ups on at the park. And like there's a way that you can entangle your legs to do traction. You just dang-a-lang upside down and it'll do natural traction. And then so I was doing that. She goes, "Oh my God, that's so cool." I said, "You want to go in it?" And so I'm just saying, if y'all want to hang out with me, I'm gonna have you doing weird shit. You can't later be like, "Oh my God, you know what happened?" Bitch, you already knew I'm not average. You already knew I'm not normal. I plan to do races with toddler bikes in the desert. You can only come if you're willing to race with me. And if you say your legs are too long for that, that's just too bad, isn't it? Like it's too bad that I'm too short to reach the top shelf of any cabinet. That's just too bad, isn't it? I'm probably going to win because my legs fit perfectly fine on a toddler bike. I'm probably going to win. And I'm probably not going to hide my pleasure at winning. I'm just saying. I don't know where that video went, but like, yeah, no, we had a race on toddler bikes. The best part, the best part, we're both dressed in clothes from the girls section. little girls section. I want to say I was wearing like emoji stretchy pants from the children's section. And she was wearing like the ballerina. Funny. I was like, oh my God, did you get that from the children's section? She's like, yeah. I was like, me too. Okay, let me stop. Let me finish this reading. Card number 26, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. Relax. Okay. Relax. Everything's going to be perfectly fine. You have to just make sure you get all of the ugly juju people out of your life. Just get them all out of your life. You know, you don't have to disown them, but you do have to minimize the amount of access they have to you. Card number 15, big bold vision in reverse. You're still looking at things in a very small way. You have, see, free to be we, girl. We should do roller derby. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm just saying. Okay, let me stop. So the big bold vision in reverse, that's telling me that you're still seeing life in a very small way. You're still seeing yourself in a very small way, and you can't keep doing that. You have to allow yourself to be the amazing thing that you are, okay? Card number 17, what is already with you? It may be with you, but if you're not allowing it, excuse me, if you're not allowing the connection with this greatness already with you, it might as well not be. If you have your truth all beautifully boxed up just so it could be nice and neat for the people who need you to be nice and neat, those people are boring. They're boring people. Let them be boring on their own terms, by themselves. You don't need to participate in that boringness. You can go ahead and be fabulous on a toddler bike. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Card number 38, restore and replenish. Allowing yourself to restore your sense of self. Allowing yourself to restore your sense of self. A nap will help to restore your body. Food will help to restore your body. Your sense of self, if that gets depleted, if that becomes altered, what happens to you? Like, what literally happens to you? You become lost in your own created reality. You forget who you are. You forget why you're here. You forget what's important to you. You forget how to live. And I feel like that's what the world has done to so many of us already. We've forgotten how to be fully present and really truly live. We're going to have our own Burning Man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you know, we're going to have our own Burning Man is what it is. It's something that's going to happen. I don't know how much in the wilderness we can be. My husband has to come. I'm not scared of people. I'm just saying if like spiders or something comes into the tent, we're going to need someone to, unless one of y'all can kill things like that. I'm not about rehoming things like that. I'm just not. I'm not at all. I know a lot of people who will like carefully grab the spider and release them outside. I'm not one of those people. I'm one of the people who, if a spider is in the room and I don't see you kill it, meaning I don't see its carcass when you're done in your attempt, I'm not going back into the room. I'm just not. I'm not going to go back in that room because, for all I know, that spider has escaped and has told his family. Now they're all going to come into the room while I'm asleep to attack me while I'm vulnerable. I'm not joking. I still have a scar on my leg from where a cockroach bit me when I was like a year old or something like that, because we were like in a third world country. Okay. There's reason for my trauma. This is not a baseless trauma. I'm just saying, hold on. Look at my leg. It's still right there. It's like this big on my leg. I don't know if he was trying to eat me alive or what. I don't like insects. I am starting to kind of love jumping spiders. They're cute, but I don't want to own one or touch one. Card number 28, collaborative dreaming. This is someone who's trying to establish some type of, I don't know, telepathic connection with you. No, that doesn't feel right. Or maybe creation is trying to establish some sort of energetic connection between the two of you. Maybe they're not trying to do this, you know? Um, Maybe it's something that's just happening. Yes. Yes, cockroaches bite. They also fly. Did you know that? Everyone's like, oh my God, I want to live in Hawaii. I don't. Their fucking cockroaches fly. I'm good. Oh, but it's tropical. Yes. Things grow bigger in the tropics. Are you kidding? You crazy. Mm-mm. I'm not going to no Hawaii. Shit. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it firsthand. Hell no. Card number 18, spirals of manifestation. Things are starting to manifest. Things are starting to manifest. You're going to be fine. You have to flow through this period or else you're not going to be fine. You're going to struggle through it. And it's okay if you struggle through it. You're still going to grow. Just keep in mind, this is about your growth. So grow. Oh, card number 13. I couldn't help my reaction. Damn it. Card number 13, power of attraction. So, okay. Just saying. Let me just look at my freaking. I need to change the subject for a second. I just, this has something to do with something, and then something. And you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. For some of you, this whole reading is about someone that you have some type of soul connection to. Michael says that's a redundancy for me to say that because you guys already know. Did you guys already know this? He said, you knew. I knew. I didn't know. You knew or I knew? Emu. Those birds are kind of weird. I knew or they knew? He's just like, he says, I already spoke about soul-based entanglement. Soul-based entanglement. So he's like, this is not a new topic. Oh, that's right, because it comes up every effing reading, right? It comes up every effing reading. Card number 30, the perfection of your life. Seems like someone's life is on fire. Holy fire, baptism through flames. Baptized in the flames. Yeah. No, seriously, someone's life is kind of like there's been an implosion that's taken place. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I promise it's going to be okay. All right. I'm about to turn on the freaking fan. Have a moment right now. Oh, I got to put my hair on the other side. Hair on the other side, just like this. All the single ladies, I'm not single. All right, I'm really hot. I'm really hot right now. I suddenly got super hot. Okay. 1 second. I'm going to pull 2 more cards and then we're done. We are done. Okay. All right. Let's just calm down. We're just going to calm down. We're going to allow. Allow. All right. There's 1 card. Ooh. I'm growing dahlias. I'm going to look for some cafe au lait dahlias. Those are gorgeous. I think they would pair beautifully. Dinner plate dahlias would pair beautifully with the peonies that I'm growing. I'm growing peonies as well, you guys. Oh, here goes. Can you ask Michaela if this keeps coming up because it's an important relationship that needs to be rectified? I think Michael can go dig in a recta. Okay, let me stop. Obviously, that's why it keeps coming up. It's something that needs rectification. If it didn't, then it wouldn't come up. And I think a lot of the reason it keeps coming up is strictly because there's so much distortion that was put into play because of what was like spread, the teachings and whatnot that was spread. And that's what frustrates me. You know, a lot of people's perceptions became super de duper became super de duper distorted because of it. We get so used to the same reading every day. I think it gets lost in our memory like a song on replay. So Christy K said that. With that, it's almost this thing of programming you to be more receptive to something, because if you consistently hear it day in and day out and day in and day out, eventually it wears away, it erodes your resistance to the rectification, the process of rectifying. Less and less of your ego-based resistance will be involved. More and more of your openness and desire for resolution will be allowed to come through. So that's probably why it's day in and day out. Okay. Card number 21 by Ravi Yogini. Sublime by Ravi, fierce with sacred rage, cannot be deceived nor deterred. I'm just saying. I don't know if Michael's talking shit about me right now. She's unflinching, fearless, and determined. She causes that which is unworthy of the soul to flee and secures divine protection for the authentic soul path. Her presence empowers our hearts to face our fears and signifies that we are ready to overcome anything that has held us back. She gives the power to fulfill our heart's desires and reminds us to embrace our unique path with confidence. So I think that kind of sums it all up. This message of allowing the truth of who you are to come forward and letting that truth be the very thing that unintentionally but very naturally scares away those who have, you know, questionable integrity, questionable intent, questionable place in your life. So that room is held for that which is pure, that which is intended by soul to come forward. 99% at 929, 99929. Divine guidance, 83%. Oh, 83 eyes, 47 thumbs. That's still 1111. 8 is the number of unification. 3 is the number of a solid foundation. 4 is the number of self. 7 is the number of completion. If you allow yourself to reunify, it will stabilize the self. It will create a solid foundation from which to return to the self and complete the cycle. All of these messages, they all come together. They all come together with specific intentions, specifically calibrated messages for each person. And it's your job You are obligated to yourself to receive the message and interpret it in the way you are meant to. You have to unpackage that and figure out how it applies to you. You can't just accept these messages at face value, right? Queen of Hearts says, it's applicable for me to more than one person, much interference in one, just trying to clarify. That's why I boldly asked. Yeah, no, that wasn't being bold. You just asked. Um, it's one of those things where it's like, who does it apply to? And really, only you know who it applies to. It can be something that's romantic, something that's not. It could be so many different things, so many different people. And I find it's really interesting how many will assume it's just a single dimensional message. Like it's this person that I had, biblical relations with, and it can't be about anyone else because it has to be about this person that I had biblical relations with. It's often not. It's often not just one person. It's often something that becomes a message that can be applied across your entire life with so many different connections. So let's see. The sixth of the Mahavadiya wisdom goddesses is Bhairavi. She is the wrathful emanation of Kali Ma and the conqueror of fear. Her name means both formidable and terrifying. Why would we be afraid of our beloved Divine Mother? We can recognize that she's fearsome in the sense of divine magnificence and inspiring awe. Like a force of nature powerful enough to rattle our inflated sense of entitlement and invincibility. Ooh, she becomes something we can revere because we recognize with relief a power so much greater than the small-minded workings of ego. We can dedicate ourselves to alleviating the suffering we see in the world, if that is what motivates our hearts. Yet we can also take refuge from becoming disheartened by the extent of our task because we recognize divine greatness and capacity. The entitled mind of a young soul may misinterpret such magnificence as an excuse for apathy. This is why she must be fearsome to such minds. The fear of God is necessary to trigger inner growth until the love of God is enough to motivate our hearts. Ooh, that is so deep. That is so deep. Damn. The fear of God is necessary to trigger inner growth until the love of God is enough to motivate our hearts. Fearing the very thing that motivates your growth and allowing that fear to put you in a place of love, self-love, not love for the things that cause you to fear, but love for the process that teaches you there's nothing actually to fear, that you can handle your entire life. Mm, mm. That's deep. Bhairavi's divine wrath. She demands that we meet our potential. There is no playing small when she arises in a reading. Her appearance manifests to give us necessary reminder to step up in our spiritual game. Your commitment to the spiritual practices that suit you at the time is strongly encouraged. There are divine forces that will more than match your efforts. Oh my God. Let me read that again. There are divine forces that will more than match your efforts. This is about the growth of both the self and the counterpart. This is a triggering of growth. I wonder if they're afraid of you because of what you represent, the type of growth that you represent, the type of expansion that you represent. I wonder if you're afraid of them because of this. But is it even fear or is it simply avoidance? There's no playing small. There's just no more playing small. That's what it says. Let's see. There are divine forces that will more than match your efforts, and a great deal of progress can be made in a relatively short time frame. This is the intention and the purpose of twin connections. It has nothing to do with sexual encounters. I keep saying this. I keep saying this. I'm not asking you to be celibate. I'm not even asking you to be anything. I'm telling you, I am stating very clearly, twin information, twin readings, twin connections, twin energy is about growth. The most profound type of growth that you could possibly have from one connection in a very condensed period. It is not some sort of coincidence that the person that I suspect is my twin ray counterpart found me at a time when I was literally being forced to live stream by my soul. At the very start of the public portion of my journey is when they came across me. I did not even have a business yet. I did not have a business name. I did not have a business page. I didn't have any of that. It's just one of those things where you have to make sure. You have to make sure you don't allow yourself to be, oh my gosh, there's a bug. You have to make sure you don't allow yourself to be distracted by the BS teachings that other people kind of spread around. Why? Why do they spread this around? Because it sounds spiritual. It sounds advanced, because chakras, because, all of this stuff. And yeah, I sound very condescending when I talk like that, but I'm sick and tired of the bullshit lies that people spread that really fuck up your sense of self and your direction and your perception of people's place in your life. That's not okay. It's not okay for them to convince you that you have to do something, be something that you aren't. It further complicates your life and your journey. That's not okay. And we have to stop acting like it's okay so that we don't hurt their feelings. You know what? When someone doesn't take into consideration how what they're saying is affecting other people so negatively, how what they're saying is promoting lack of self-love, lack of self-respect, why the hell do you need to take into consideration their feelings? And I'm not a tit for tat type of person, but I'm done. When you are done, you are done. You're not asking for permission. You're not asking for agreement. You're not asking for any of that. You now believe what you believe. You are who you are. And ain't nobody going to tell you that your existence is wrong. Are you tired? Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of people telling you that you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to. I'm tired of it. I'm not going to be anything I don't choose to be. I'm just not. I'm not going to be coerced or bullied into agreeing into specific types of connections that disrespect my sovereign decisions. I'm sick and tired of the people who peddle this flat out lie that you're supposed to be in a sexual, intimate relationship with a twin because that's your twin. That's who you belong to. I belong to nobody. Ooh, oh, Michael had me. Sometimes we have these conversations, Michael and I, and then it kind of just inspires a little bit of poetry. So I was thinking about my husband yesterday, right? Or was it the other day? I don't know. It was one of these recent days. And then it was this thing, this line of poetry, and it reads like this. And just like that, I was his, not because he owned me, but because I chose him to keep me. It's a choice that's made. It's a choice. And only you have the right to determine what that choice is, to solidify that choice. Let me read that again. And just like that, I was his, not because he owned me, but because I chose him to keep me. I chose him. He made a decision and I agreed. I wasn't coerced. I wasn't settling. I wasn't any of that. It's a mutually agreed upon decision, one that we decide every day and have been deciding for quite a few years now. It's not a sense of obligatory marriage at all. It's not out of convenience. It's literally a choice being made day in and day out, a commitment to that choice. And you can't tell me that I'm with the wrong person because he's not a twin. How many people have destroyed their relationship, a healthy one, based on that lie? I know for quite a few years, I had quite a few people trying to convince me that I needed to end my marriage. Why? Well, because that's not your twin. I'm not doing shit, you say. You're fucking crazy. You're crazy to think that you could tell me what to believe, how to live. Mm-mm. And when those people went away because I no longer responded, you know what happened? How many of you thought that I'm married to my twin? Because you can feel the love between us. My husband's not my twin. We have a profound love between us. Has nothing to do with twin or not. Has everything to do with our decision to choose each other and to cultivate that. We didn't fall in love, we grew in it. We had a basic foundation from which to construct something together, and we both chose to. When you begin to set the foundation for a house, for any structure, that's extremely hard, if not impossible, to do by yourself. You're going to need at least one other person to help you. And if you're building that structure all by yourself, is it because you're trying to prove something? How safe will that structure be? Will it fall when there's wind gusting outside? And so these are the things we need to consider. Like, yes, for some, you're going to need to reconnect with an individual because there's unfinished soul-based business. Has nothing to do with relationships, has nothing to do with sexual encounters, has everything to do with what you need to learn together. And you can learn that as friends. Hell, you can learn that as adversaries. You know how much I've learned from people who chose to be an adversary for no reason other than because they felt like it. I learned how powerful it is for me to choose not to accept your invitation. Yeah, that's right. You can start shit all you want, but if I decide not to take that invitation, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Talk shit? Go ahead. I don't care. What are you going to do? Keep talking shit? Go ahead. I don't care. So then what? What else can you do? After a certain point, people are going to be sick and tired of hearing you talk shit. And then they take a look at me and like, well, what the hell's going on here? She's not even talking shit. She's just kind of living her life. Why are you picking on her? Yeah. How'd that work for you? It didn't. That's how powerful you are, you guys. You don't have to explain yourself to people who are already absolutely committed to not understanding you. Yeah, everyone is running around stupefied over a label. We are all individuals, regardless of a label, and need to choose accordingly, not by a label. Absolutely. Absolutely. Amen, Christy. That's how I see it too. This is your soul sibling. You know, if you look at it as it's your soul sibling, I mean, what the hell? What the hell? I don't know. People be acting weird sometimes. That's just weirdness. I mean, like my siblings and I are not like that, so I don't know. I don't know. You know, like I don't know. It's just one of those things. I don't know. Card number 35, Kalika Tantrika. Ooh, that sounds like Meli Kaliki Maka. Sorry. That's the only Hawaiian I know. Meli Kamika Maka. Meli so I forget now. I forget. It means Merry Christmas. Card number 35. Kalika Tantrika. Our wild mother goddess overcomes duality, resting in the sweet spot of integration, healing, and creativity. She facilitates the overcoming of tension and conflict, birthing sacred solutions and evolution into greater bliss. Kalika Tantrika is Kali, the tantric queen. She overcomes all karma, realigns pathways when we have veered off course, reverses the momentum of negative uses of free will, and detaches draining energy cords, restoring us to full vitality. So it's this thing of recognizing that free will has been improperly utilized. It's been utilized to create elevations in suffering and struggle and all of that. She's coming in with a scythe, okay? She about to fuck shit up. Let me stop saying that first. She's about to go buck wild. Hold on, let me. My hair is crazy right now. Okay, let me just. Okay, no. Let me part it deeper. All right. Okay, there we go. Hate when my hair touches my face. There we go. I don't like anything touching my face. That's one of my things. Like, don't touch my face. It's not cute. It doesn't make me feel sexy. Like, just don't touch my face. I don't like that. Okay. Um, Her presence announces significant change and positive improvement in all aspects of your life, especially your spiritual life. The Tantra of Kali is a teaching of the eminence of the goddess. Her appearance in a reading indicates a time when the feminine principle must be in the dominant position. So, the feminine of the two needs to be the very one that chooses growth, compassionate growth. I think what this is basically telling us in simple human terms is that as the female of that pairing, the feminine energy, it is up to you to return to a place of greatest compassion for all involved. You don't have to take this opportunity to destroy someone just because they walked away from you, however many months or years ago. This is a time where you can utilize this potential reconnection to really elevate your understanding of each other and your place in each other's lives. Let's see. This is not a declaration that the feminine is superior. See what I'm saying? It is equal to the masculine, yet different. It's a recognition that the feminine is the holding and birthing energy. To shift from one way paradigm or political structure, the feminine must lead as Kali disrupts negative power structures and holds the space for something completely new to emerge from the rubble. The simplest way to describe the eminence of the goddess is that it's the deep respect for intuitive knowing and action taken on the non rational yet deeply insightful instincts of the heart. This is not about being emotionally reactive. There are multiple expressions of this sacred tantric inversion, placing the sacred feminine in the leadership position and deconstructing patriarchy. Okay. Patriarchy is not intrinsically evil. What it's become is horrendous. Horrendous. Okay. This is not to say that men are intrinsically evil or intrinsically horrendous. This is to say that the system we've run for so many generations, that we continue to participate in, continue to fuel, if you pick a side, you're part of the system. If you're one of those people who continues to make posts, and I absolutely mean this, if you are one of those people who continue to make posts that further degrade the other sex, the other gender, you are absolutely part of the problem. No, true feminism has nothing to do with degrading men just because there are men in the past and still in the present who continue to degrade women. Being a reflection of the thing that you hate makes you exactly the same thing as the thing that you hate. And this really carefully constructed, very cleverly designed program of, oh, yeah, okay, not all men, but men make us feel no, no, stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it. Don't be a pawn in a game. Do not be a pawn in a game. Stop it right now. Stop buying into bullshit concepts. That's a bullshit concept. Making a blanket statement, holding someone else accountable for another person's behaviors, that's a bullshit concept. It really, truly is. I say this as an extremely powerful, extremely balanced, full in her femininity woman goddess living here on this earth right now. And you cannot tell me I cannot speak my truth and the way I see the truth because I'm not supporting women. No. Your attempt to shut me up just because it doesn't go with your program is the same shit you're fighting. If you want women to have a voice, then you need to respect the way I use my voice. You don't have to agree, but no way in hell can you tell me to shut up because I'm not empowering women. No, I'm not empowering toxic femininity, just like I wouldn't empower toxic masculinity. Just like I don't empower men who use spirituality to promote, I don't know, all sorts of things that I don't agree with for myself. I don't agree with polygamy. Does that mean I need to tell you to never be polygamous? No, that means you're down for polygamy. Okay, well, I'm not down for you then. I don't need to be in a relationship with you because I'm all about monogamy. And that's okay. That's okay. It's okay for me to choose to devote my life to one person. It's okay. It's okay for you to choose to not. Just don't bring that around here to me. And it's not that you have to hide it. It's that I don't want to be involved in any of that polygamous behavior. So please be respectful. Don't invite me into those types of situations. And that's it. We're allowing ourselves to continue, nonstop continue to feed the very machine that's being used to grind us up. Yeah. We buy into all sorts of different programs that are causing us to further disregard what we actually need. What do we need? Reunification, reunified diversity, to be unified in our diversity. We don't have to agree on the same things. We don't have to believe the same things. We don't have to have the same exact day-to-day life. We're all valid in where we are. I'm speaking on people who seek to invalidate others. And hey, the really intelligent troublemakers, and I'm going to say this, hell yeah. The really intelligent troublemakers will be like, well, that doesn't even make sense because what you're saying is invalidating someone else. Someone has to have the courage at some point to say, stop the fucking bullshit. I'm sick of it. What's your response to that? Maybe you need to recognize you just like to argue. And that's fine. You can be combative all you want, because for a large portion of my life, I was combative too. But I also, looking back, recognize I was just a confused asshole. I was miserable in myself, so I need to make other people miserable too. And maybe one day, hopefully, you'll have that realization about yourself and your behavior as well, just like how I did. But I'm not interested in rushing you through your process. You can continue to be an asshole, just don't be it here. Yeah, I said it. I said it without hesitation. I said it. That's right. See, I can tap back into being an assholeo if I want, but that's my choice. I don't then get to be up here and be like, well, I need to respond. No, I don't have to respond. I chose to. I chose to respond, just like I choose every other detail of my life. No one gets to dictate to me. If I want to choose to take into consideration what someone else has been through, um, because of my presence, because of my absence, then I have a right to do that. But whatever I choose, I will always be the one who will have to harvest the fruit of that. It will always be me that has to harvest what I plant, the seeds that I sow. And you can see it as, well, no, that's not my fault because the GMO field blew some of their seeds over onto my crops. I didn't want to grow GMO, but you saw it growing and you still let it. You still tended to it. So to some degree, you absolutely did. These are the same people who will tell you, oh my God, you can't just cut people off just because they don't agree with you. If you're GMO, you're GMO. I'm not going to let you taint the rest of my veggie patch. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. It makes no sense whatsoever. These are people who just like to argue so they can sound and feel as though they are superior in some way. A child who knows how to argue is still a child who knows how to argue. You're still a child. The beautiful thing about an adult is you can decide for yourself, I don't have time for this today. Today, I'm doing big things. I'm doing grown-up things. I'm building the foundation for my future. And that's where we end this reading. What are you going to do? What are you going to choose to build a foundation from which your future can have the most solid, most hope-filled start? I'm at a place where I'm open to whoever needing to enter my life or re-enter my life to help me further my understanding and further develop my maturity. That's fine. There's space for you. I'm not afraid of who's coming in, of who's leaving, of any of that. I am excited to grow myself in whatever way I'm supposed to. Secondly, I'm finally done with simply talking about what I'm supposed to do. I'm now entering into a place within my life, my personal journey, and my public one, where now I'm taking action. I want to share with you guys. I'm starting the plans to begin the establishment of a 501c3. That's a nonprofit organization. That sanctuary is going to happen. I want everything to be established this year. I want this year to be the year where I finally take the first steps, where I go from knowing that I need to take steps, accepting that I need to take steps, and going into this place of actually taking the steps. So, first soul sanctuary project. I'm looking to raise funds to begin the process of establishing that 501c3. Eventually, all of the plans will culminate in a physical soul sanctuary being opened, being built from the ground up and opened, and have people there who are learning as well as helping to teach. Just a lot of spiritual truths, a lot of self-empowerment, But first and foremost, what we can do together is come together and let's help each other. Let's raise those funds. I looked at a few different service providers who can assist with properly starting the 501c3. With that, the cost is roughly $2,600. I've already opened up the donation button on the soulsanctuary.love website. It's on the soulsanctuary.love. Um, I don't expect you to run out there and drop huge sums of money. But if you are so called to, if you have $5, $10, whatever your heart tells you, anything is appreciated. Absolutely. Anything and everything is appreciated. I just really, I've been saying I'm ready. Now it's time for me to start acting like it. I'm ready. I know, because I was thinking, okay, so I can give myself a few months. I can totally raise those funds myself. I can work for it. And then I was having conversations with myself and Mikey yesterday. And he's like, well, if you're doing all of that, so then it's yours. And I was like, well, no, it's for all of us. It's a soul sanctuary. It's for all of us. And he goes, so then why are you doing that? Well, because it's going to cost $2,600. What do you mean? I don't get it. And he's like, well, if we are building this, shouldn't we come together to do it? And then I understood. Part of this, it's very difficult for me to allow myself to receive donations. Most of you guys know that. It's like very, very, very fucking difficult for me to do that. I have to push beyond that fear. You know, I have to allow myself to be in a place of vulnerability so that I can experience yet again um, how much you guys show up. You know, it's not one person that's going to build this. It's not. I'm not just one person. I represent all of you. So that's one of the things that we're doing. Right now, we're not officially, technically a 501c3. We're not a nonprofit. The Soul Sanctuary uh, financial stuff, that's completely separate from my personal for-profit business, which is the M Evolving. That's completely separate. So I want to make very clear any donations, that's all going to a separate account. And all of that is headed towards the eventual formation of an official nonprofit organization. This is obviously going to be a process. I definitely will continue to update you guys if you want to be a part of it. I'm looking for widgets that I can embed on the website to show how much is being raised for certain projects. If you yourself have project ideas that you've totally been thinking about for a long time now, part of what I would love for the Soul Sanctuary to do is to support projects that are in alignment with our vision, with our mission. And what is that? The teaching and upliftment of humanity so we can return to our proper place of dignity and reunification. This is about helping us to learn about ourselves again, not just our personal journey, but the interconnectedness of all of us. You know, we're all interconnected. We are all interconnected. I do have several locations in mind, Queen of Hearts. Those locations, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I first want to make sure that I have the proper tax information and all of that, simply because I don't know too much about nonprofits and I don't want to make a misstep. You know what I mean? I don't want to have all of these donations coming in and then suddenly I find out like, oh my God, now there's a tax liability for that because I wasn't officially a nonprofit, and then it mixed with my Emmy Evolving funds. And now, oh my God. So now I want to keep everything separate, which right from the start, everything has been absolutely separate. Absolutely. There's no commingling of the two. And to be able to just really, it's scary to be able to really just let you guys be a complete part of the very foundation of it. You know what I mean? Like just the very foundations of this. So decision's been made today, the second day of the second month of the 22nd year. And that crazy. That definitely wasn't planned. But that tells me that it's divinely guided. It is so divinely guided. And it's something that I can say all I want, how I've taken so long. I don't know that I was ready before now. I don't know that I had the type of courage and vulnerability that's necessary for this. Yeah. I do now. I don't have as much of a fear of other people being involved in the creation of something profound. I have to work through that fear. This is the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to work through that fear. I'm going to allow people to show me I don't have to be afraid of receiving help. That if we're going to build this soul sanctuary together, it has to be together. It has to. So the first goal, $2,600. And then I can go ahead and create some sort of like something to update you guys regularly once there's updates. I definitely want you guys to be an active part of all of this. The end goal, at least for now, the first major goal is the formation of the nonprofit status. Second major goal is the creation and implementation of projects to begin the process of creating a physical sanctuary. This is going to be huge, huge, you know? There can be a hybrid structure if one wants for profit and nonprofit component, but I think that it's always wise to seek proper guidance for structuring. I was looking at that too. That's a very slippery slope. I've totally always been one to keep all receipts anyways. I keep all receipts for everything. Everything's documented. Ooh, y'all, I'm gonna tell you that saved my ass years ago. Years ago, I got randomly selected for an audit. Whew. Oh my God. Yeah. I literally had all the receipts for everything. And she could just pick and choose whatever on the log and pick that. I want to see the receipt for that. I know exactly where it is. Like, nope. Nope. In addition to donating, what we can hear and there, is it possible for there to be an option for a monthly amount to be drafted for donations? There is, there is a way to do that. But I have to seek legal excuse me, I have to get legal advice first because that might fall into some gray zone where I'm receiving donations before the formation of 501c3. So that might technically be considered income. I don't know if that would be considered possibly fraudulent in some way. But I mean, very clearly right now, I do not have a 501c3. I don't have a nonprofit. Yes, I have a for-profit business with the Emmy Evolving that I've been using my personal income that I pay taxes for to pay for a lot of people's things. I should have had a nonprofit since the start, but I wasn't ready. So what I had been doing was just I run a for-profit limited liability company, and I use my personal income that I pay taxes on to support people privately. So that's what I had been doing. And now I need to make it official and just really weigh out the different options as to how to do this. But I want you guys to be a very present component for this. You know, I'm not building it for myself, it's for us. It's for us. And I know a lot of what I do where I'm like, I'll do it myself, that ties into my hyper independence, which is that's a form of trauma. That's a trauma response. You know, it's just one of those things we're all working through the way life has traumatized us. And what better way to empower you than to show you I literally am just like you. I literally am just like you, full of traumas that I'm working through, and that we don't have to be completely healed or completely anything to step into the proper purpose. And what's your proper purpose? I think you're living it. I think you feel it when you're in the presence of something that resonates. I feel like whatever that is, whatever you're in the face of that you're resonating with, that ties into your actual soul's purpose. It doesn't have to be this, I'm going to be a superhero and do everything alone. I think the most powerful thing we can do at this point with where we are as human beings is to allow ourselves to be seen in whatever process we're in with no fear, letting people know, like, you know what? No, I don't have things figured out. No, I don't know the answers. No, I don't have the money for that. No, I don't this and I don't that. And it's okay. It's okay because I trust you to not do anything bad with it. And I trust you to join me. I trust you to stand there with me. I trust that you weren't lying when you said we're shoulder to shoulder, we're equals, we're in this together. You know what I mean? Um, and I mean, I don't want any of what I just said to make you feel like you're obligated or else, you know, you're fake. No, 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 no. I'm speaking in general terms of, you know, allowing yourself to really witness the truth of how loved you are and how supported you are, not just by creation, but by the people that creation has placed on your path. How will you know if we're in this together if you keep going it alone? That's what Michael said to me yesterday. How will you know if you keep rushing forward so that what you're a trailblazer, or are you just lighting fires, burning things down? So we're going through it together. Hey, whenever you're ready to show up, it's there. We're starting now. We're starting today. Today is the first day of all our days together as a unified people. So, years from now, when we've accomplished the things that we're here to accomplish, we can look back and be like, yeah, no, the change was born on 2/22. Ah! That's poetry right there. I love that. I totally did not plan to have this conversation with you guys. Yeah. Oh, I'm having a sound bath later today. If you purchase one of the sound bath tickets, or if you're part of my Soul Sanctuary membership, you should have received the registration email from Livestorm. You were registered yesterday. I'm going to close the ticket booth for the sound bath probably by 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. With that, after 12 noon, because we need time to register people. Once the ticket booth is closed, it's closed. It's closed. It's not yet closed, but it will be in about 3 hours. Okay. So if you want to join that sound bath, we're not just doing frequency recalibrations and clearings and all of that. Today is a very special day. The planetary alignment and all of that, conjunctions that are taking place, it's very, very powerful. It really, truly is. I have some very special activations planned for later today in the sound bath. If that's something you want to be a part of and you haven't gotten the tickets yet, they're $22, or you can join the Soul Sanctuary membership, whatever level, and you get access to that. Okay? You get access to that. So, but you have to join before 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. That's the only thing. Anything after 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, we won't be able to register you. There won't be enough time because I got my team going bonkers with all these plans that I have. So I will see you guys later today. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. If everything I said makes you feel a little tingly, you're probably part of that foundation that we're creating. And ain't that some ish? We're creating a foundation spiritually by creating a tax exempt foundation. What? Yeah, the gravity of it. I love it. All right, I'll see you guys. Bye, everyone. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. If you are already subscribed, please make sure that you're still subscribed. If you're not receiving the notifications or any of that, please make sure you're still subscribed. Okay? Secondly, if you're listening to this through podcast, please interact with the track, download, like, love, whatever it is, share it out, follow the profile, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Bye, everyone.